Well, Donald Trump's vice presidential pick is announced. It is Ohio Senator J.D. Vance. Trump making the announcement on Truth Social this afternoon. Now, Vance, who will turn 40 in August, would be the third youngest vice president in history if elected.
Trump selected Vance after a search that started with at least a dozen possible running mates. Vance's selection comes just 2 days after Trump survived an assassination attempt. Vance brings military experience to the ticket as a Marine Corps veteran of the Iraq War. His right-wing views mesh with Trump's America First movement. Vance has opposed U.S. aid to Ukraine. He also pushed to stall confirmation of President Biden's judicial nominees in protest over Trump's May conviction of 34 felony counts.
Now, J.D. Vance was born in Middletown, Ohio in 1984. After graduating from Ohio State, he attended Yale Law School. He came to prominence, though, in 2016 with his book, Hillbilly Elegy, a memoir of a family and culture in crisis. He entered the race to fill Republican Rob Portman's vacated Senate seat in 2021, then went on to win the seat in 2022. Vance was initially a sharp critic of Trump before eventually becoming a loyal supporter.
The Ohio Democratic Party also released a statement that reads in part, J.D. Vance is an out-of-touch millionaire who launched his political career by taking advantage of Ohio's opioid crisis and has spent his time in the Senate humiliating himself in the service of a convicted felon instead of working to improve the quality of life for Ohioans.
Now, again, if elected, Vance would be the first vice president to consider Ohio his home state. Although 3 people born in Ohio has served as vice president, the last time an Ohioan was nominated for vice president was Republican John Bricker in 1944. That was under presidential nominee Thomas Dewey.
If Vance wins, Ohio law states the governor would appoint someone to fill his seat. They would serve the Senate until the state's next regular election, when voters decide who will finish the term, which ends in 2028.
Now, since the announcement of J.D. Vance, NBC4 State House reporter Natalie Fahmy has been reaching out to state leaders and joins us now with reaction from both sides of the aisle. Natalie?
Well, Jennifer, like you said, Vance was a never Trump guy in his words several years ago. Then in 2022, Trump made a stop here in Ohio to campaign for Vance as he was running for U.S. Senate. That brings us here. We're getting lots of support from top Ohio Republicans. For example, Governor Mike DeWine says he congratulates Vance and says he'll be bringing a new generational perspective to the ticket. Other top officials like the Attorney General call Vance the perfect pick and say he is tough, smart, and high energy. Plus, the Ohio Republican Party says Ohio is swelling with pride with the historic announcement and that Vance is the best choice for America. But on the other side of the aisle, the Ohio Democratic Party says Vance is an out-of-touch millionaire who exemplifies dangerous extremism. I also reached out to Senator Sherrod Brown, who has been working with Vance in the U.S. Senate. He did not take a stance on the pick, but tells me, I've always put politics aside and worked with anyone to get things done for Ohio. That's what I've done with Senator Vance. My focus remains where it has always been, delivering for Ohioans.
Whether it's Democrat or Republican, to have one of your own, a fellow Buckeye, be on the ticket is super exciting. His background, his history.
Most of the state's top Republicans are at the RNC right now, but I do have calls out to the chair of the Ohio Republican Party and to Governor Mike DeWine. I will bring you their comments as I hear back. Local for you in Columbus, I'm Natalie Fahmy, NBC4.